Did you know that in Hell, everybody loves popcorn? 31 is a Rob Zombie film that came out in 2016. I can't believe it's actually that old already. 7 years. Fuck. It feels like it came out sooner than that, but I've always considered this to be Rob Zombie's weakest film, in my opinion, and I'm a massive Rob Zombie fan. But then Three from Hell came out, and I certainly think that this is a much better film than Three from Hell, in my opinion. Um, there was just a lot of problems with Three from Hell, and the thing is, none of those problems were Rob Zombie's fault. So, in any of my criticisms of any of Rob Zombie's films, I don't ever put the blame on Rob Zombie because even including this one, he did such a hell of a job, a good job, with what he had to work with in this film, and this is the best viewing experience that I've had in on this film. I've watched it now about maybe 4 to 5 times, and it's a fun, well paced gore fest of a fun movie that can still be enjoyed even though it's not as strong as his other films. This has a lot of feel to House of a Thousand Corpses, in its kind of uh, plot line kind of thing. And the only thing I find like weak about it is just I don't know if lazy is the right word to put it because it's not. It's just there's nothing that this film offers that's very new. There's nothing that in this film offers that is that somebody hasn't seen before. It seems like even when Rob Zombie is going for shock value in this film, it's just like the baseline shock level. There's no heavy or shock value or everything seems mediocre. Everything seems safe. This there you go. It's probably the best way to put this movie. It's just a safe horror movie. There's nothing extraordinary going on. And I think that's the biggest thing that I have with this biggest gripe that I have with this film is that Rob Zombie being such a talent and an imaginative guy, he can come up with things and create things very horrific and very extraordinary. I mean, look what he writes for God's sakes. And yes, the vulgarity and the language is very, very Rob Zombie-ish in this film. But even Sherry Moon Zombie's character, her character, not herself. Everybody picks on Sherry for not being able to act. I mean, no, she's not fucking. She's not a legend. She's not like one of the best actresses in the world, but she's not. She's not even bad. She's not even like semi bad. She's fine. She's fine. She does her roles fine. They're good. They're fine. They're good to fine or fine to good, however you want to put it. But her character specifically in this one was just so basic. I mean, I didn't like her hair in it. I know that's something stupid to pick on, but her hairstyle, I don't know, like, I didn't like it. It wasn't my thing. Um, just a very basic character with very basic lines and not much to do. Probably my favorite female character in this film was Meg Foster, and I have the worst habit of calling her Meg Ryan. I'm sorry if I fuck up and make that mistake. I apologize. It's Meg Foster. I've called her Meg Ryan so many times. Um, and then we have in the movie his name is Sickhead. Poncho Molar. I had to go on Google to look that one because apparently they didn't want to put his name on the back of the fucking Blu-ray. But he's he always annoyed me the first few times I watched this film, but he did grow on me a lot. It seems that Rob Zombie really wanted to like hammer in the Nazi stuff in this movie and that shock value using the Nazi stuff. He even puts two of the villains, Sex Head and Death Head, and makes them like they like German speaking fucking full on crazy ass Ramstein style rejects. And they're both like really fucked up. And Doomhead, played by Richard Brake, is easily the fan favorite when it comes to the villains. That guy is a fucking pure born psychopath, like almost to the point where like he's so fucking like he can't even like you can't teach that. Like he's just born sick, like straight out of the womb. Like fucking somebody birthed the devil, literally. literally. His monologue at the beginning is really well done. He acts psycho. I'm not I'm not crazy. I'm in control or something like that. He starts beating the fuck out of himself and giving him a bloody nose, and that one's himself a bloody nose. So basically, we have these circus performers. I'm pretty sure they're circus performers. They're on this like party bus, kind of hippie bus kind of thing. It's very 70s. I'm pretty sure this film takes place in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken, or it's supposed to. They're traveling. I love the opening credits. They play that track "Walk Away" by James Gang, and with when it comes to a Rob Zombie film, him being a musician, you're automatically going to get an amazing soundtrack, just right off the bat. So you always know you're at least going to get that. I love the gas station scene when they pull up and the guy is just he's your stereotypical horror movie old man, and he has a sign that's written on cardboard and it says self service, but it's spelled Service. So basically, it says self service. Guess the guy can't spell. Oh fuck, Meg Foster, she's a legend, man. She was 68 when this film was shot, and she's in her 70s now. But for a lady with some years on her, man, she has a great body. She looks good. She has a very like her personality is very like kind of young still. She's young at heart, and her fucking line. I'm gonna teach y'all girls something. This is all you need in this business. Sucky, sucky, fucky, fucky, juicy, juicy, money, money. And I'm like, Foster, bless your heart. Confidence is key. I love you. You're awesome. Keep flirting. Keep being sexy in personality. But you're turning 70. I'm so sorry. I mean, I love confidence, so I'm not like blaming her. I'm gonna be the same in my 70s probably, but it's like, lady, she's talking like she's 21. Anyway, like I said, I'm not being mean. I swear I love the woman. She's awesome, and credit to her. It's too bad that she didn't have a better movie to be in than Jeepers Creepers 3. It's a real shame on the film's part and the director's part because it's good to see her in roles, and I even want to watch her older films too. She's in one called The Wind by Nico something. I forget his last name, but he's the Greek director that directed a bunch of genre films, especially in the action, slight horror genres. But she's in one of those called The Wind, like I said, and she's in a few like 90s movies, 80s movies. It'd be good to go back and check those out. Pancho Miller, like I said, who plays the little guy, and he's like full on Nazi mode himself too. I was saying he always annoyed me in my first few watches, but he definitely grew on me. Just his I don't know his Spanish lines and the way he kind of like just the way he would speak his lines were annoying. But like I said, he grew on me for sure. So I don't understand the dining scene like when they're given food during this game. It's their decision to eat the food in the middle of this situation is so dumb, and it's so predictable. I'm like, dude, that's gonna be the fucking guy that just died. You're gonna be eating your friend. Why are you eating that food? And they sit down and they're eating. Obviously, they're starving, but still, there's no excuse. And then Charlie, played by Sherry Moon Zombie, lifts the cloth of the table and sees the dead friend. I'm like, that's so predictable. That's such predictable writing. Like, that's one of my least favorite scenes in the movie just because it was so fucking predictable. Schizo Head and Psycho Head, they come out with their chainsaws, and the gore in this film and the kills in this film are great. I love when the Jamaican guy Panda decapitates one of the fucking clowns. Psycho Head, I'm pretty sure. It might be the other one. I'm not sure. But he decapitates the clown, and that girl who was chained up, who Jeff Daniel Phillips' character Roscoe didn't trust, and I was going back and forth whether I wanted to trust her too, because he claimed that she was part of the psychos who put him into this game in the first place. But and Meg Foster wants to help him. Venus is her name. Meg Foster's character's name is Venus, and I would have fell for it. I would have let that girl go because her whole fucking arms were barbed wired, and she looked like she needed help. But Roscoe didn't trust her for a second, and it turns out that he shouldn't have because as soon as she was free, they get trapped in a cage, and then one of the clowns, either Psycho Head or Schizo Head, just chainsaws the fuck out of her, and the gore in that scene and how realistic it looks. It's very well done. So literal 10 out of 10 for the gore on its own. Mixed on the plot and the writing for sure. We've got Rob Zombie writing like crazy. Those two clowns, Psycho and Schizo, the shit that comes out of their mouth. Fuck. It's like, I'm gonna. What did they say? Oh, we're gonna fuck all your holes, aren't we? To the chicks. And then in the dream sequence, they're telling jokes. I'm not repeating the jokes. Fuck that. But I'll just say the joke itself. What's sicker than fucking a pregnant chick? I'm not saying the punchline. Go look it up yourself. It's Rob Zombie for you. The shit that guy has in his head, man. He's awesome. I love him as a musician. And I love him as a horror writer and director. But fuck. And then we have Doomhead having sex with that girl while they're watching Nosferatu, which makes perfect sense for Doomhead as a character. And I already mentioned that the two characters, Sexhead and Deathhead, I wrote down a lot of Rammstein reject-looking characters, and both of them are definitely Rammstein reject-looking characters. Like they auditioned for the band and didn't get the parts, but they look straight out of Rammstein. Doomhead drops this Sun Tzu sounding quote. If anybody doesn't know Sun Tzu, he wrote the book The Art of War. And Doomhead says, I can't believe I'm quoting Doomhead because he's a psychopath, but it's a good quote. The victorious win the war and then go to battle, but the defeated go to battle and then try to win the war. I'm paraphrasing, but it's something like that. That's something that comes out of The Art of War by Sun Tzu. So it's cool that Rob Zombie added a Sun Tzu quote into his film. I already mentioned the gore being the best part. Roscoe's murder is brutal. The two knives and in his sides or whatever, with Doomhead running with both knives, fucking ready to destroy Roscoe, and he does. And Meg Foster's death too. It's fucking brutal. And from Doomhead again, and the shit he's whispering or saying into Venus's ear before he kills her, fucking sick. That's all I can say. And the ending was kind of rushed, I found. The ending is another thing that I'm kind of on because Doomhead has like 5 minutes to kill Charlie, but they want to make Charlie the final girl. So Doomhead is like going closer. It's one of those fucking things in movies that like it's like, why don't you just kill her already? Like you're right there, but he just holds it off and holds it off, and then the sirens go off and the game's over, and he's like, motherfucker. I'm like, don't blame yourself, you're an idiot. So he has to let her go because the game's over. But then he drives like following her down the street while she's all hurting and walking down this like country road or something. And he gets out of the car and then she just looks at him and he looks at her while Dream On is playing by Aerosmith. They actually called it, the way the song is titled in the movie, it's Dream On Boston Strong 2014. So I don't know if it's a live version or a remaster. And they also credit it as Steven Tyler and Joe Perry instead of Aerosmith. But yeah, the song Dream On plays, and then they're just staring at each other before the credits roll. And in typical Rob Zombie fashion, he wants to stretch out like a 5 to 6 minute long song with one scene, so he purposely makes the scene take forever just to have the whole song play. Which I don't mind. That doesn't bother me. It's just that the ending definitely felt rushed and like just kind of, oh, we got to finish this off right now. Let's just do this stereotypical shit and be done with it. So, like I said, plot and writing was meh, but the gore fest, awesome. You want a good, not too long, doesn't overstay its welcome kind of gore fest, then this is a fucking good film for that. And the villain side of things, the villains were the best. They're so good you almost root for them instead of the main characters that you are hoping survive. I liked the villains in this. They were very colorful, kind of thing, in a sick, twisted way. But still not the greatest Rob Zombie film, but it's not as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. I don't mind it at all, and for if you want something very gory and very really creative and cool looking kills, check out 31 if you haven't already. It's really not that bad. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more soon, so stay tuned for those. Check out what's on the channel already. Stay tuned for what's coming. Until next review, have a good one. Take care and cheers.